I got scammed. Hey, it's Sean here with the Modest Wallet. Today I want to share a sort of different video than we normally create here. I want to share about my most recent experience, unfortunately, buying counterfeit sports cards online.
Not on purpose.
More specifically, on two different occasions, I bought a sports card and another sports card totaling $300 on Mercari. Now, before you go anywhere, maybe you don't collect or flip sports cards, but this video isn't just for sports card enthusiasts or collectors or even flippers. It will hopefully be useful to anyone who may buy or sell things online, especially when it's things that you want to make sure are authentic. And so I hope by sharing my story, I can help others just really prevent them from falling victim from the same scam, and really can just maybe learn about my situation and not hopefully fall down the same trap. Stay tuned. All right, so let's start with the first card, a 1988 Fleer Michael Jordan. I was really beyond excited when I saw this card come up, especially because it was in such great, really perfect condition from what I could see in the pictures. But little did I know, it did turn out to be a fake. Whether it was fake on purpose or whether it was done unintentionally, the verdict's still out on that. So the counterfeit was so convincing that it really just flew right above my head. I saw the dollar signs. And with that said, I did pay $125 for this card, even when it typically sells for something like $75. Now, the reason I was so eager to buy this card, even at $125, $50 more, the markup on a card, a PSA 9, so when you send it in to get grading, a PSA 9 or a 10, you're gonna make a lot of money on that small investment. So I saw a quick solid profit. All right, so let's take a look at the front of this card. It's very well centered. There's really no creases. The edges look good. The surface really looks flawless. And when grading cards, you look at those four things. You look at surface, you look at edges, corners, and centering. And just a side note, I do have another channel all about sports cards. So if that sounds interesting to you, you could definitely go ahead and check out that channel. It's called the Sports Card Teachers. But anyway, I have a same card from this set. It's a Dominique Wilkins, and this is actually authentic. This is actually a card from the set. It's not a fake. Now, if you look at these cards side by side, you can see pretty easily, you can see the difference in color between the two on the border of the card. Another, I would say, blatant difference is the graininess of the card. So the Jordan is so grainy. I should have definitely never overlooked it, as if it's pretty obvious as you look at it that it was copied. But that was not the case for this card. So to make a long story short, I bought this card, I sent it into PSA for grading, and it came back inauthentic. And this was a month and a half to 2 months later. So if you know anything about Mercari, they are not going to back the buyer really on anything unless you take care of the issue within 3 days of receiving the item. So what I did was I contacted Mercari just to see, I contacted the seller just to see, and neither Mercari did get back to me, but neither were going to be helpful. The seller just never responded to me. Who knows why? He could have maybe thought that I was trying to pull something on him. I don't know exactly. But Mercari came back and they weren't going to do anything since it fell out of that window. I had accepted the card. Because I had accepted the card within those 3 days, you can't back out of it. So definitely one thing to think about. Don't accept something until you fully make sure it's in the right condition, or in this case, it's authentic. So with this situation, $125 lost. Actually $140 because I did get it graded. So it's just a loss. Gonna be something I'm gonna have to live with. Now let's talk about the second card, and this is one that I purchased for $155, thinking I'd struck gold at this point. I had looked on eBay. Prices are differing, but this card had sold, graded, PSA 10 for $1,200 on eBay. So as I said, the card was already graded, and I bought this card. This was a card that I continue to buy raw cards of this, so ungraded. I've been looking for a 10 on this. I usually just flip things. This is a card that I might hold for a little bit, but I just have never been able to get a 10 on it. So it is a card that I was super excited to see for such a cheap price. I probably sent in something like 15 different Kobe Bryant rookie cards at this point looking for that 10. I've gotten several 9s, but just can't get the 10. And when I look back at this situation, I can already see that I had my blinders on because I was so excited about this card. So definitely some things that I missed, kind of done with me. Now I won't go into too much detail, but you can see that the barcode on the card that I bought does not look legit. It's actually kind of blurry and wouldn't scan. And the coloring of the label was also off. If you can see the comparison between those two cards. And then the back of the card is missing the PSA label, and the barcodes were bad once again. So I was pretty naive. I definitely let dollar signs get in the way of this transaction. But lesson learned, I'd already learned in the past to really look things over, because within 3 days, I was able to notify Mercari, notify the seller that this was something I was not going to accept because I was pretty certain it was a fake. And because of that, I was able to get my money back, which is awesome. The seller acted like they didn't know about the situation, didn't know that it was fake, and that could very much be true. But either way, I got my money back. The seller was sorry about the situation and was quick to respond and make sure they made things right. So the frustration, really the disappointment that I felt over these two situations. I've been scammed twice, not once, but twice. It definitely was a pretty painful lesson to learn, but I want to ensure that others don't have to go through this same ordeal. Now, I want to share some tips to help you avoid falling victim to counterfeit sports cards. And this doesn't just have to be sports cards either. This could be really anything where you're looking for an authentic item. First is to always do your homework. Research the specific card you're interested in, and then really try to familiar yourself with the key features and markings. Look for the PSA label, check the barcode, and then make sure you compare it to authentic cards. Secondly, pay attention to the details. Use a magnifying glass to really closely take a look and examine the card for any discrepancies or even some signs of tampering. Look for differences in color, in texture, even the print quality. If something seems off, then what you should really do is just trust your instincts and make sure that you proceed with caution. Lastly, make sure you're buying from reputable sources. Stick to trusted sports card marketplaces. You also want to just make sure that sellers have positive feedback. And with that positive feedback comes a proven track record. Avoid deals that seem too good to be true, and always verify the authenticity of the card before making that purchase. Now, I do consider Mercari a reputable source, but I do think that their customer support for the buyer is definitely lacking. It's going to take a little bit to get to the point that eBay's at. Now, I don't like eBay fees, but they do take care of their customers. Now, in conclusion, my experience with counterfeit sports card situation here was definitely a costly one. It was definitely disheartening. I hope that by sharing my story, by sharing these tips, I can help maybe prevent others from falling into the same trap that I did. Remember, diligence, caution are the best defenses against counterfeit scams in the sports card market. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I certainly hope you found it helpful. I don't want this to happen to you, so make sure you comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about this, either situation. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Definitely stay vigilant out there, and I'll see you in the next video.